Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Alex here. Last time I unboxed two sealed Pearl Jam records that I bought off a guy off Facebook. Previous to that, I did buy a few more things off a guy off Facebook, and I said it last video, I'll say it again. Thank you, Andy at Andy's Vinyl Den, for giving me a shout out. It's really helped out my channel, really helped push this channel to new heights, and by subscribing to other VC members that Andy has recommended as well, hopefully I can now discover even more music to show off on my channels. And funny enough, I didn't mention it before because not only was my last vinyl haul recorded about maybe 2 weeks ago, I also didn't find out about it because my notifications for Andy's channel, I don't know why, but they were not turned on. But they are now, Andy, I promise you, so don't worry about that. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get on with this. I bought 10 CDs and 11 records off a guy off Facebook, but it's a bit upsetting because one of the CDs came without the actual CD in it. I've been in touch with the guy. He's going to look for it for me, but you know, hopefully he finds it. If not, I didn't spend a lot on the CD anyway, so it's not a huge loss. But the first one I got is actually, the first one I'm going to show you is actually the one that came without the CD in it, and it is Beastie Boys Solid Gold Hits. And you know what, it's a shame because I love the Beastie Boys, man. Songs on here like Brass Monkey, Check It Out, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Pass the Mic, Intergalactic, which is probably my favorite Beastie Boys song, Body Moving, the Fatboy Slim remix, Sabotage, Fight for Your Right, you know, all the good, best songs. And unfortunately it did not come with the CD. I have been in touch with the guy, but hopefully he gets back to me soon on that, because I was really excited to throw that in my CD player. The next one is Rubber Soul by the Beatles. I know, the day Alex spins vinyl buys a Beatles album is now. But honestly, this is probably my favorite Beatles album. I love the song Girl. I love the song In My Life. If I Needed Somebody. I love Think of Yourself. I love on this album Drive My Car as well. I love on this album, so of course I'm going to make sure I grab that. Led Zeppelin's first album, I have this on vinyl already. You can see what I'm using as a stand there to hold my phone, bunch of DVDs, but yeah, anyway, I already have this on vinyl, but it's nice to have it on CD. Same with this one, Legend by Bob Marley, but this is absolutely obliterated, the CD on this, so I might just stick to the vinyl if it doesn't play very well. Next CD is In Utero by Nirvana. They're a band I haven't given a proper chance before, but hopefully this CD will allow me to do that. Same concept with this. This is By the Way by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. A friend of mine who is a fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a big fan actually, recommended this album to me, so I figured now's my chance to pick it up cheap and give it a listen, because he's a big Chili Peppers fan. He's told me this is their best album, so I completely trust his opinion when he is a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. Next up is Tupac Resurrection. This is of course a movie soundtrack, but all the songs are by Tupac. I already had one of the songs from this album on a 12-inch, but it's nice to have the full soundtrack, so if I enjoy the full soundtrack, maybe I can go check out the movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I am yet to track it down, so there we go. Couple more movie soundtracks as well here. We got Matrix. Not a huge fan of the soundtrack, but did love the movie, so there we go. And one of my favorite movies, Pulp Fiction. I didn't have the vinyl because I want an original pressing of that, and they're very hard to find. I might just have to settle on a repress if I can find one at the right price, but hey, there we go. And the next one is Who's Better, Who's Best, the very best of The Who. I am becoming a Who fan very quickly, so there's another one to add to the collection. A best of, but I'm cool with that. So they're the 10 CDs. Took a bit longer than I was hoping to, and that's the cheap part of the whole out of the way. Next, onto the records. This is where most of the money actually was spent, and I spent a little bit more than I was hoping to, especially, you know, being this close to Christmas and things. But I decided to just treat myself just before Christmas, so let's have a go at this. This first one is probably... This one's absolutely trashed, but it's playable, but it's filled with scratches and pops and crackles, but it is, of course, Rubber Soul. I will be finding an upgrade copy of this, but of course the price was right on this album, so of course I had to make sure I grabbed that. It is an original mono pressing. I believe it's a UK pressing. It is, so there's that. But it's absolutely obliterated. Next one is a 1994 repress, American pressing of Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones on Virgin. I think it's kind of funny how an album called Sticky Fingers is on Virgin, but we'll leave that for another time. The zip is fully working there. As you can see, there's the inside of the gatefold there, and it is, of course, a repress on 180 gram. After I bought it, I read some really bad reviews of this online, but they must have been from vinyl purists, because I didn't see a problem with this at all. And I honestly believe that unless you have a very good sound system, you cannot tell the difference between remastered and not. So I had no problems with it. I just think people are either being real idiots or they're just too much of vinyl purists to be giving good reviews. Next one is Ziggy Stardust, 1980 repress of this album. Again, not in the best shape, but playable. It's on the green RCA label there. So that's how you can tell it's a 1980 repress. But again, honestly, not my favorite David Bowie album, but it's nice to be collecting them all with time. So there's that. Next one, I actually got a whole bunch of David Bowie. This is an original UK 1974 press of Diamond Dogs by Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie. He might as well be called Ziggy Stardust at this point. But yeah, I got that. Oh yeah, and this is a UK pressing of Ziggy as well. But yeah, original UK press of Diamond Dogs. This next one is a German press, and it's also a 1980 repress. It is Low by David Bowie, and this is on the black RCA label. But again, it's one that I did not have, and I'm very, very proud to have this album finally. The only albums I've had by Bowie before, it was Let's Dance and Heroes, so it's nice to have some more Bowie albums in my collection. So there we go. Next up is The Man Who Sold the World. This is a 1970... I think this is a 72 repress. An annotation will pop up on screen anyway if I'm incorrect, but I believe it's a 72 repress of this album. Original inner as well, which is just fantastic. No, this is it could be 72 or 71 repress. I think it's 72. Well, the original is 71, excuse me, but yeah, it could be a 72 repress. But there it is on the orange RCA label. The Man Who Sold the World. It's a shame it doesn't have the alternative cover, but hey, there we go. Next one is actually the last David Bowie album I got here. Is Space Oddity, 72 repress. but this is an American repress, which is very nice. Very nice album. One I haven't really checked out much before from David Bowie, but would love to give it a chance. There is the original inner sleeve with it as well. And once again, orange RCA label. I've got a lot of David Bowie albums I can now cross off the list. The next one is a 1993 reissue of Trans Europe Express. Very nice copy. American pressing, and apparently the guy bought this off a collector, as well as the Sticky Fingers bought them off the same collector, so it's really nice to own this. I've had Kraftwerk's a band I haven't really checked out much in the past, so maybe this album can change my mind on that. Next album is Relics by Pink Floyd. I don't remember what year this was repressed, but again, an annotation will pop up on screen, but it is definitely a UK pressing of that. Next up, I remember this one. This is a 1988 repress of The Piper at the Gates of Dawn by Pink Floyd. UK pressing. The psychedelic music, it hasn't really connected much with me before, but you know, I do like Pink Floyd, so I'll give this album a try and see how it goes. And the final album that I picked up, and probably the one I was most excited about, just because I've never seen this album in person before, but it is Uprising by Bob Marley and the Wailers, an original press from 1980. Nice to own this is actually a very beautiful copy of this album as well, by the way. They're on the Tough Gong label, so it's nice to have that. And yeah, 11 more albums for my collection. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for tuning back into the channel. That's going to do it for this video. So yeah, all these came off the same guy off of Facebook. Quite a varied selection, but not really, because there's 5 David Bowie albums and 2 Pink Floyd albums, so you know, it can't really be helped, but hey, that's the thing that happens when you buy off Facebook. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.